Hello everyone, today we're going to be continuing playing CK2, which means that it's about time to look at the results from some of the polls I posted at the end of the last stream of this game. So, first, I'm going to pull up the polls. To give everybody here has a chance to vote real quick, I'm going to set, just basically put the music back on and wait about 5 minutes. You can easily post the links in chat if needed. So right now, also available on my Twitch page. So yeah, if you're watching from a browser, where you can easily see them. I'm gonna get some music on and wait about 5 minutes for any last minute voters. Alright, and the last minute voting period has ended, and it's time to view the results. And it appears nobody voted in the leadership category. No votes for anything in doctrines or in nature. So guess I'll just be going with whatever I feel like. But I also got a new DLC because as I've been thinking about converting this to this EU4 around the 1444 mark, and I found a fan-made CK2 to EU4 converter that seems to be a bit better than the one unavailable, well, like, officially. But it does require the Conclave DLC to be enabled. So now, got some, like, education focuses. But first things first, it's time to reform. Got a few options. You can also randomize. Got peaceful. Those are less start no wars, plots, and factions. Rulers gain piety while at peace. Leagues not allowed. Great holy wars are not allowed. But that does not seem like a good faith founded by a descendant of the God Slayer. I suppose I could probably have like a short extra last minute voting period. Yeah, maybe it's just too early in the stream to need to do that. I'm gonna post in chat the links to the polls one last time. and we're about like 5 minutes. So I'll mute my mic like I had it before, and get the music and get the voting music. Hey, that's the end of the second last minute voting period. Fortunately, Google Chrome decided it just doesn't want to capture. So, guess everybody's gonna have to take my word on the results. It's the same as before. Absolutely nothing. I just end up editing this part out of when I upload to YouTube. Right, since 20 votes in the polls, pick whichever one I want. So it's details of the Reformation. So, get peaceful. This endeavor of life, mentally the life of peaceful conduct. Release discourse with our opponents rather than fall to the sins of violence and mad pursuit of power. That's not how we've been playing this at all, so say one of the other ones. I think warmongering sounds about right. We got the options of temporal, hierocratic, autocephalous, or autonomous as leadership. You can either have temporal, which means that the queen here becomes the leader. The entire religion. Hierocratic, which means that we'll have a high priest. Autocephalous, which means that each realm has a high priest in the form of, I'm pretty sure, like, maybe the court chaplain. Well, diviner in this case. It's the same role. Or autonomous, where everybody, or followers of this religion, can pick a preferred branch, and everybody gets +2 no base intrigue. I think go for hierocratic. There was reading on the wiki that apparently if you choose haruspicy and astrology, I think that's a combo, you get an added bonus this feature basically. Yeah, with astrology and haruspicy, the once per decade interpretation of stars by a religious head or court chaplain, and if none exists. I think I'll go with that. So, shaman The Virgin of Lavisa has subtitled Temple of Lavisa from Are. Princess Anika Nosolsky has used the title of Temple of Solsky from Heart. So it's like adding some temples. The Sumanuska Reformation. Ancient Sumanuska religion is proving unable to withstand the onslaught of the cross and the moon. Rather than abandoning the old ways, Queen Helene of Estonia and the most powerful priests have decided to reform the Sumanuska faith in order to turn the tides and lead the assault against the new religions. Now organized in a strict hierarchy with an official religious head. The Sumanuska faith has ratified all the spells and charms once preserved by oral tradition in a proper holy text, so that they can then be better used to combat the prayers of foreign missionaries and their alien gods. This event could mark the beginning of a new era of pagan revivalism all over Europe and spell doom for the Abrahamic usurpers. For Jumi. So now we have this guy who's the head of the Sacred Woods. The Kiatayamigo. Apparently also a vassal. They like own wherever the Sacred Woods is. Really need new steward. Here's a powerful vassal that once in on the council, so well, he's got good stewardship, so he can have that position. You got a loyalist as in the council. A loyalist counselor will generally be a faithful servant to the ruler. They will support the liege in all actions except those that will directly decrease their own power. Malcontent counselor is unhappy with the current state of affairs in the realm. They are a troublesome force on the council and will always oppose the will of the ruler unless they directly stand to gain power. A zealot counselor will strive towards bringing religion to the forefront of the realm's political agenda. If religious war targets are available, this counselor might need to propose wars against other targets. The counselor will also be more inclined to accept hostile action than against heathen and heretic characters. We've got Gloryhound. The Gloryhound counselor will always push for the realm to make prestigious advances for glory. They will oppose those attacking weak neighbors, but against those more powerful opponents, they will not care much for the reason of the war, as long as it will strengthen the realm. This counselor also prefers a strong and centralized realm. But my ruler is still currently imprisoned. And also she's apparently a Taurus. That's one thing that's immediately unlocked. Said through astrology reform is said to now everybody can look to the stars to determine the zodiac sign. After making the proper calculations, I've determined that I was born under the sign of the Taurus, a constellation commonly associated with perseverance and determination. She also got to select childhood focus for my bastard nephew, and an education focus for my daughter. She's got a very good martial. Say, give her a martial education. Focuses on studies on the ways of military strategy and war. Already willful children will do better with this education, while timid children and then idolizers will be hampered. And let's see. He's got good base diplomacy. Maybe that's his highest base stat. There's a guide on the wiki for this. I'm gonna look at that real quick. Because I've not played with Conclave before, as I just got the DLC specifically so that I can convert this save to EU4, or once it reaches about like 1444 mark. Let's see. Good childhood traits for her diplomacy education are affectionate and curious. So affectionate. Affection is granted by the humility focus, and curious is granted by the thrift focus. Which I should also check. Okay, so Chancellor Kaido. Might have some traits that you can use to intervene. Does have patient. is patient and content. I think looking at this, I think I'm gonna go with thrift. Because either he gets curious or his mentor can intervene on fussy and make him patient. So you have for Anatolia, the great Shia Caliph if Nasib has decided to call a jihad against the Kafirs in the kingdom of Anatolia. He urges all righteous Muslims to take up arms against the depraved Dukes Iranos of Samos for the glory of Islam. Allah is merciful. That's no concern of ours. Well, now we can have our own great holy wars. Disband this unit. Apparently, I think my region just changed around the council a bit. For whatever reason, and ear was no longer even an option. And for the air. That's because for whatever reason we're agnatic Gravelkind now. Right now, main thing is just like waiting to see what happens with the whole being in prison thing. And Tatiana has finished her education in Waste of Intrigue, as evidence she has excelled in her studies. Oh, this is a random prisoner. But why is it pleasing that she was good in her studies? You know, I'm assuming this girl Faith has actually like head of the religion. To you kind-hearted scholar, to the kind-hearted scholar Healy, May you live in harmony and contentment. He proposed that Nelka to Christian and that Irvala should get betrothed. First, chieftain of Gilead. It's over here. Sure. Now, thanks to the Reformation, got this whole thing for our faith, like actual scripture in the form of the legends. Army morale was determined by her species. The characters are born under specific zodiac signs. So I suddenly started being agnatic when the pressure was agnatic cognatic before. Maybe my brother changed something, I don't know. Again, now it's also just a matter of waiting and seeing what happens. It's currently in a prison way over here. Apparently there's a peasant revolt now as well. If you cease being kind while staying in prison. Wow. No. So he managed to usurp some land over here. That was a short-lived of rebellion. Of course, it's gotta be somebody trying to become independent. Because it's been a constant thing lately. I gave him a spot on the council. I guess that's not good enough for him. Because he's an asshole. I mean, it doesn't help that the High Chieftain of Blackgale is kind of massive. So this guy got timid. Let's see. Timid helps a learning focus. It's not detrimental to diplomatic either. So I think I'll go for that. Also just because that we can focus on his best stat, although since he's not the heir, doesn't really change much. Apparently, my brothers decided to declare war on Novgorod. Or released to declare war on vassal. For 100 years under the Kingdom of Estonia, the High Chieftain of Livonia is no longer considered a de jure part of the Kingdom of Lithuania. Same with the Chieftain of Blackgale. But affect nope, that did not affect the independence thing at all. I mean, one thing that would help is they wanted to remove council. Right, how do I... I can demand religious conversion. If they don't feel like being a dick about it. But before I added Conclave, oh, you just go to this menu instead. This is a separate menu from this one. And they decided to offer the queen up as a Campus decided to offer the queen up as a sacrifice to their ancestors. So now I'm back to playing as this guy. Council is discontent. She also needs to fill some council positions as well. So this guy is a powerful vassal and tied with the head of the faith for best diplomacy of the available options. I'll go with him. You can be the leader. Well, you can be the marshal. And diviner. Might as well go with the leader of the faith. I mean, he's got 20. You know, he's got 20 learning. The council has been discontent for 1 month and will be until the 9th of March until 33. This means that if councilors were prohibited by law from forming and joining factions, and no doubt how to do so, this could potentially destabilize the realm. How do I get them to not be like that? I mean, part of it apparently would be for the king to stop being gay, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Oh, and also apparently he's been a member of the Sumanusko equivalent of a cult, of a satanic cult, this entire time. Oh, and he's still considered a tyrant. Things are not looking great for him. Now he's also threatening. He is apparently now the Sword of the Great Bear instead of the Cruel. So I mean, I guess that's an improvement. Like sort of like granting some titles. It'll also make some of these unhappy vassals happy. Who's... Or you can have this random over here. This to decrease, like, get my demand size back down. It says that council is discontent, but like the only... I mean, succession always makes a council discontent. So, it doesn't even have anything to do with this guy being angry. It has to do with the fact that the old queen died. Right. One title can be usurped. Somebody's forming a new... Sure, I'll go ahead and usurp that title. Disband those guys. I mean, I've got quite a lot of prestige. The Sons of Khalifa, a new Finnish holy order, has so far decided and is dedicated to the preservation and defense of the new reformed Sumonosko religion. These warriors call themselves the Sons of Khalifa, and they are prepared to march into battle against all those who deny the truth of their faith. Many Finns look upon them as the heroes of their ancient myths, and they seem to have no shortage of recruits. So now there's a holy order that can, with 9,000 soldiers that can be recruited for 30 gold a month, runs by any ruler of the Reformed Suminosco faith. Which is, there's a lot of places that still follow the old Suminosco ways. So, I have to get them to follow the new religion too. Okay, why does the it's because I'm still considered a tyrant, even though it's been quite some time. You sit huddled up together with a fire, the air thick with tension. Skies outside are dark with heavy clouds, and Uko's presence is as tangible as a lover's touch. Suddenly, the room is lit by a bright flash, and the ear-deafening crack cuts through the silence. Your son eerie breaks into tears. And run out into the storm to prove Eerie that thunder is nothing to worry about. Gain 50 piety, the 60% chance of no effect, 25% chance I'll gain brave and I'll gain willful. 15% chance of being struck by lightning. Let's see. Currently does not have a focus chosen. His best stat is martial. Which, we go with this, he has a chance of gaining willful, which boosts intrigue. And check the wiki real quick. Willful is a good trait for somebody looking to become I'm good at martial as well. So I'm gonna go with that. And I did not get struck by lightning, but I also didn't get that willful trait. Let's see. What's a way to get him to be willful already? Commentary comes for this focus already and willful, though I also think Wiki says that you don't really want to go for the struggle focus. No, it's pride that's bad. Yeah, struggle Decent choice, but perhaps too risky for a non-elective heir. Should be chosen if the child is to receive a martial education. Well, he is an elective heir. And I've got another son. Then, because I've got his twin brother as well. So I think I'll go for struggle for him and are things any different for his brother, or stats wise? Yeah, his brother isn't as good as head at martial. So he's got good diplomacy, stewardship, and learning. So I can easily go with any of those three. I think for this kid, I'll go with his duty. He has his focus. Kidnappers overpowered me and made sure I could not call for help by stuffing a filthy rag into my mouth. Luckily, they did not get far away with me. I cheat even Mindu and the guards managed to free me and capture them. You know? So far, the Conclave DLC definitely is adding some new options for like stuff to do while waiting for interesting things to happen. Grand Summoning. For some time now, my brother Winter, High Chief Nelko, Mr. Hera, and I have been researching the proper ritual for invoking a certain greater demon. A few weeks back, arcaneArtist managed to procure an ancient clay tablet that was the missing incantation. Stand ready to attain main powers undreamed of by mortal men. Yeah. Let's go for the ritual. Grand Summoning. Our coven then surrounds the summoning circle, the correct symbols drawn, the fatty candles burning a sickly green. Nalka intones the final invocation just as I hang off of the sacrifice, distracted by the spurting blood at first. As I didn't notice a man standing in the circle, like he was there all along. Looking straight at me with a smirk, he says, "Bravely done, child. You have no understanding of the forces you're meddling with, but I did find your sacrifice pleasing. Quid pro quo, name your desire, boy." Wrath of the Old Gods. In response to the new era of crusades and his jihads, as among the Abrahamic monotheists, the great Teotaja Mego has informed all Sumanusko shamans of his plans for magnificent Sumanusko pagan in response. In fact, all pagan heads of religion may now declare their great holy wars as this could be the beginning of unprecedented heathen aggression. Okay, so this guy's he's marrying off looking to marry off some of his children. Sure, you can be betrothed to my niece. I think I'll try and get more vassals to not be in the negatives. If I can get any of them to stop trying to become independent. And I was also just waiting to see if anything interesting happens. I always knew my ambition would help me reach great places, and to acquire some wealth during the way is always a nice bonus. There's gold, diamonds, ore. Wait. It's 5.6 gold. Oh boy. Lamicus of Old Sumenosco Uprising has declared Estonian Old Sumenosco's revolt on the king. So I believe I can actually get. Yep, they're going to be free because I'm fighting against a rebellion against the Reformation. So I hardly even need my vassals. Those will help me out. Because I've got 9,000. Because I've got 9,000 warriors of the faith. They have to back me up. And apparently the mission in Lightgale has been successful. So this is 100 gold. Is imprisoned. Yeah, but well, now also running a budget deficit. Mostly because I spent a bunch of money on a bull to Great Holy War for Vladimir. The omens are clear. Amigo has declared a Great Holy War on King Dobrynya Vladimir and the followers of Porkelet, and the Kingdom of Vladimir. All three Eastern men and are encouraged to aid in the conquest of their holy places. The people will strike down under Porkelet. Wasn't Vladimir Sumanusko though? Guess they're old Sumanusko, which means that they're heretics by definition. They're heretics because they have not joined in on the Reformation. So I'll pick a patron. Best thing is Marshall, so I'll bump that up even more. We also haven't checked the stars yet. Apparently, the king is a Virgo. France. And the monthly piety and one stewardship. Oh, did Great Holy Wars not work like Crusades? That's how they did. Oh, and the Zori brought in the Hands of Khalifa. Like I guess the way it works is that he basically starts a war. Any one of the faith can and join in on it. Wait, is Novgorod reformed Simonisco? No, Slavic. Oh, the queen is reformed Simonisco. Just the bulk of their population is not. Well, there goes. There goes the first head of the faith. And to get a new diviner. The pragmatist counselor will always aim for the path of least resistance when it comes to strengthening the realm and gaining power for themselves. They are inclined to support wars for reclaiming native digital land and counties with the rulers of culture. He might also support wars against weak opponents. The council will oppose the creation of other strong vassals in the realm and will support the revoking of titles from already powerful vassals. I guess the new just sort of inherits his command end of the war. It looks like they were actually able to defeat the forces of Tiataya in at least one battle. And now that same large army is coming after me. Lovely. And the king is sick. Resist my foul impulses for now. I have a few vassal levies I can call upon. Right now, it looks like best strategy is probably just to fight them small places where possible. Absolutely. Because fuck that guy. Him and his predecessors have been constantly trying to become independent. I think at this point in time, anybody he else having that title would be an improvement. And we've been intercepted on our way to reinforce Rosatiataya. He's not stand in poised to take part in the Great Holy War for the Kingdom of Vladimir. But we've been participating in the Great Holy War for a while. At least I'm not sick anymore. But I do have a dangerous faction. Led by this asshole. I get the feeling that this Great Holy War is not gonna succeed. And that was that. Oh, and apparently King is dead. Not with that negative 85% war score. Or get that guy in a position and on the council. But hey, I've got Godslayer back. I've got a better weapon, but I've got Godslayer back. Effectively, granted, I kind of already did with the previous ruler, because he was the one holding on to it this entire time. How did I become conscientious in spite of, like, how did I guess technically it does say likely childhood traits on the wiki. So I guess it's possible to gain conscientious while in the struggle, whole childhood focus. Well, it looks like we've got more reinforcements anyway. Great, now, oh, now the Marshals in on the faction too. This guy just die already? He's getting pretty up there in years. Like if he could stop being an asshole for 5 seconds, that would be great. Yeah, this battle was not going well. Especially now that they've just got more reinforcements. Yeah, that's a failure. That's a failed Great Holy War if I've ever seen one. Young Yaroslav has finished her education in the ways of faith and even learning. It turned out less well than expected. Apparently. I'm not even entirely sure who that is. At least now I can start regaining some funds and forces, so as a try and counter this would-be rebellion. Better put this guy on the council. Just keep him comparatively content. Somebody's dipped out of the faction. Sure, that seems good. There's so many fun things to do. There's so many forbidden things. I wonder if Kira would like to join. Henry and some fun pranks. Apparently Kier has no focus chosen. So choose to play dice or potentially become rowdy. Yeah, I'll go ahead and become rowdy. Right, so now I'm both rowdy and conscientious. And Kier base 1 diplomacy, but it's dropped by both being a Pisces and being a child of a concubine. She has no base martial, 1 base stewardship, 0 no base intrigue. But she's also a 2-year-old, so I'm sure her stats will develop later. I believe with the DLC needed to calculate their eventual base stats based on the base stats of their parents. So parents are king, late king, and doesn't specify which concubine. Oh, queen mother, her Baden's of Estonia. Let's see. She has good base intrigue, stewardship, and martial. The king had good base diplomacy, martial, and his best base words. His stats were diplomacy, stewardship, intrigue, and learning. So it's a thrift for her. I hope that Rowdy he gets to become brawny or honest, and not dull or uncouth. Oh, there's these random people over here that failed to disband at the end of the war. I no longer have a dangerous faction. Because now the only person trying to become independent is the Marshal, and he has way less those forces than the other guy had. Except now he's got dang High Chief Eva Blackgale on his side again. clearly something has to be done about that guy. He's just got too much power. Something needs to be done to break up the realm of Latgale. Unfortunately, a 9-year-old can't really do anything about that. So, gonna have to wait at least 7 years. Young Cordelia has finished his education in the ways of war. It turned out less well than expected. Let's go. Once I turn 12, at least I'll be able to choose a new thing in place of the struggle focus. Right. At least that particular troublesome ruler of Latgale has passed on. And the new ruler of Latgale doesn't hate me too terribly much. In fact, actually, with a gift, he's actually doing fine. Which I mean, I have the closest to a negative trait I have is child of a concubine, and maybe rowdy. At least if it becomes dull or uncouth. Here's later on in life. I mean, it could become brawny or honest as well. I'm just gonna have to wait 7 years and see. Because I think it's like right at 16 that childhood traits become adult traits. Sure. Keep people from forming factions. Let's see. I can't remember what I was doing. Oh yeah, it was like getting this guy to stop being such a big problem. He's also got more vassals than he's got 4 more vassals in his limit. So no wonder he's got so much power. I think I'll send the diviner out to continue converting people. Oh yeah, I was gonna check the intrigue menu. See if I could read the stars, but I guess unless you can't at the age of 10. The Fault in the Stars, we're receiving these scant reports from the Sacred Woods about how the infighting amongst our most illustrious diviners. It appears that a series of ambiguous and contradictory sightings have confused the priests as well as Aya himself. With the heavens hiding our future, many amongst us are being beset by doubt and fearfulness. I do not have the money to make a big sacrifice. So this is that whole once every decade the religious head reads the stars or whatever thing. Right. Oh, we've been at peace for too long. So I'm losing 2 new prestige each every month. I mean, it just slows down the prestige gain as opposed to actually causing a loss of prestige used directly. Well, since this guy demands that that he gets a seat at the council, well, I better give him a seat at the council. Apparently, something to do with this guy. I believe in vassal inheritance warning. I think I might just call the stream after these last couple in-game years. Yeah, select my education focus and then call the stream. I've been live for about 2 hours now. Walking outside, I come upon some commoners along the road. One of them calls out, saying, "I look lovely today." I'll see him punished for addressing me like that. Why are you angry? Like, what? I mean, it increases martial, but none of those are really good traits. It's to get hit upon adulthood. So I'm just gonna not be an asshole about it. Just a little bit more. So now just one more year to I'll be able to finish up my childhood focus of struggle and move on to a martial education. Apparently, that girl is going after her Leobat, like in Chernigov. I'll let go. Well, I mean. Yeah, just gotta wait for this December. Okay. Increase noble customs, military organization, construction, and that's like that available. Since King Erie, he was born on December 10th, just gotta wait for this coming December, or just a few more months before I can switch over from the childhood focus to education focus. Which honestly, he could go into stewardship. Actually, it looks like stewardship would be better than the other because it's got a base 4 in martial and a base 5 in stewardship. So now he's 12. And just like an education focus. Base 5 native martial, base 6 stewardship, base 5 intrigue, base 4 her learning, and base 3 diplomacy. Maybe go with. I can easily go with stewardship or or Marshall. Let's see. Leave both diligent and temperate. It will improve stewardship. Diligence then boosts everything all around. Whereas temperate just boosts stewardship. I think I'll go with Marshall. And stewardship can just sort of be his second best thing. I'd say that's going to be where I'll end the stream for tonight. So thank you all for watching. Probably soon will probably be Talisman. And again, to get things back to the way they were supposed to be this week, basically. Because I ended up not being able to stream on Tuesday night because of schoolwork.